Oh, alrighty.
this contract.
And then, did we turn the recorder on?
We're live.
Oh, yeah.
I need to.
Doesn't seem to work.
Please. Oh, no.
I just
Stop.
replaced those batteries.
Okay, I'm so sorry. All right, I would like to call the meeting to order for the Perkins Public Library Trust. Roll call, please.
All right, so we have Brian Huckabee,
Here.
Linda Barda,
Here.
Charlotte Perry,
Here.
and then Melissa Mills and Valerie Hill are not here today.
Does this establish a quorum?
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you. Number 2, consideration and action on consent agenda. A, approval of minutes for the May 4th, 2023 regular meeting. B, approval of financial reports. C, approval of purchase order for Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group Property Liability Insurance for fiscal year 2024, quarter 1. And D, approval of blanket purchase order for fiscal year 2024. What is the blanket purchase order, may I ask?
Yes, that is the, it's in our packet. It's this one where it's a little bit short, it's got like the 3 different parts.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. So it covers our audit of the library trust, utilities, and property insurance for next year.
Okay,
Covers
gotcha.
all 3.
Pay that much for auditing. What little tiny bit we got is.
I think we get mad every year when we see auditing.
Goodness.
I assume financial reports haven't changed much since we
Yeah.
looked at them last.
Did he move that we accept these?
Would like to make a motion? Charlotte made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
All right, so Charlotte Perry, Brian-
Yes.
Brian Huckabee,
Yep.
and Linda Barda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 3, consideration of items removed from consent agenda. Nothing was removed. Item 4, public appearance, petitions, communications, and personal appearances. Have a new body with us today, and you are?
Oh, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
And you are?
My name is Amy Noyes.
Oh, very good. You're from the city. Okay.
Yes.
I recognize the name. I just hadn't seen you in person
Oh, okay.
She's been here before, I think before you.
before I came, so we hadn't seen each other maybe. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Number 5, consideration and discussion regarding update from Brian Huckabee on progress of the new library project.
Okay. I've got a concrete guy that's supposed to be giving me a number to do the demo on the concrete. We've been kind of waiting around trying to find donated services so we didn't have to spend any money on it. But I think we're all getting impatient, so I think we're gonna spend a few $1,000s to get the demo done. But if we can still find somebody to load the material in a truck and take it somewhere. And Bob told me he knows one person interested at least taking that material. So I think we can put those few pieces together. So in the next week, I'm gonna try to get that price pinned down and follow up with Bob and make sure that individual is still ready. Maybe follow up with Steve and his contact and see if we can put a little more equipment together. Because I'd like to get that done.
Get utilities into the building usable.
And then, once we get that done, I've got a plumber ready to go. Local plumber said he'd do the plumbing at cost.
No good.
We could get all that stuff going. So,
Do we need to know which local plumber?
and then, I think 2 meetings or 3 meetings ago, we approved me and the architect
Yes.
to do a full set of plans, so we're still, I've been back and forth with him and Bob and city attorney, trying to finalize his contract. The first go around with him, we just used his proposal.
Right.
It wasn't very stringent. Since then, we've got a new city attorney that has a new contract. So she's doing her job, but the architect doesn't, kind of changed the rules since we phase one with a different contract. And so hopefully everybody is settled now, and I'm just waiting to get the final markups and get that done. He's about caught up on his current workload and said he could almost dedicate the month of June to our plans and once and for all. If he gets just a little ways into that, we have just a few more details on the exterior of the building. And if we get the concrete done and that back door done, we can get all the exterior walls done with the T-Mobile money. Basically be done on the exterior with the exception of anything we want to do with parking lot. So,
And that could be added later, so that's one of those that we can hold off on if we need.
Not as important as the rest of it.
Right.
so I think the short story is I think we're really close. If concrete out of the way, get the architect off center and get him rolling, start spending the money we've got.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, any other discussion on that? All right, number 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding next steps of the new library renovations, which kind of go hand in hand.
Second.
Do we need to make action on that proposal for changing the architect's contract or not?
I don't have it in hand right
So we have to wait.
I don't know if we could arbitrarily take action, because one of the objections the city attorney had, a standard architect's contract that I've seen for years, they have X amount. What you give us, $11,500 is the maximum price.
Right.
Billing us hourly, kind of like you did on the first one, and he came in well under that.
Well, under it, yeah.
The standard architect contract, I don't know why it's always been this way. They say, do all this for this amount, but travel cost and plan printing are charged separate on an as-needed basis. And the city attorney didn't like that that wasn't included in, which I understand. I talked to Bob, so I told the architect, let's just up maximum price to cover whatever
That might be.
travel cost and so we can arbitrarily tell them have that. So I don't know that we could take action on that.
Okay.
The other next step, we went over signage a while back, and I had a proposal on that. I'm ready to take action on it, but I think we're ready to get a sign up. So I think it's one of the next steps. I can't remember how much that quote was. And I think next time we meet, it would be nice to have some more proposals for different styles, colors, looks. Take action. Next meeting, get ordered, signage put up on
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
June.
All right, so
Anything
no
else?
action on number 6. Jennifer? All right, number 7, consideration and discussion regarding establishing levels of sponsorship and associated benefits. We talked about last meeting that we're not a 503c, whatever, that sets that up, so we really need Friends to do that. But I think we're gonna have to be the ones that set up per room. I think we're the ones that's going to have to set up cost per square foot. But I think Friends is willing to make those things happen. We just need to get the ball rolling on getting those things on paper for them. Does that make sense? There's no action, of course, for it, but that's kind of, Charlotte brought in a letter that had been used for the previous movement of the library from across Main Street to here. I'm gonna do some tweaking on it. I'll send a copy to everyone and let y'all look at it, kind of see what you think. But she's got the alumni list that Friends would like to send out a mailing to. Brian and I and Charlotte had talked about potentially, using Facebook. Last meeting, we talked about using social media to try to send out that information also. So if we could put together a flyer of some sort or a graphic of some sort where we could use that. And then, of course, Brian, you weren't here last meeting, but we had talked to Mr. Kinder at Payne County, and he said they're ready to take donations. However, whoever walks in the door and says they want to start donating to Friends of the Library every month, he said they're capable to set that up for people. So if somebody wanted to designate $20 a month to come to Friends of the Library, they could do that, or $100 a month to Friends of the Library, they could do that.
And I don't think Friends needs anything from us to get that started. We could put some more to it and say,
Right.
if you want to buy a square foot of the renovation,
Right. I
$100.
want to put in it how much we've already spent on it and how much the city has already spent on it. Is that logical to do that or not?
It's going to be a moving target. If you set those figures day one and you get.
It's gonna change.
It's just going to be a moving target. the whole
Continue
way.
to change.
I think we could start by saying, here's how much we still need. Here's how much we have in the bank. Here's how much we have pledged. Here's the balance of what we need
Right.
to finish it. If you want to buy
Square foot.
a square foot of the renovation, it's going to cost you $100.
Right.
Because I think we figured out loose math, it's like $72.
Right.
We round up and just say $100.
Right.
If you give 1,000, well,
Right.
and then we need to figure out how we,
Want to section each section or
if we
rooms.
put together
or-
some graphic that's put on the wall permanently that says the Smith family renovated this part of the building.
Exactly.
Now, before we do that, too, something to keep in mind, and I've got a email from our city attorney that you all might want to read as well. This is something, I guess, that's being proposed to the Parks and Rec Department is for their sponsorship levels.
Okay.
The only problem is you have to make it open to everyone.
Right.
And so it's just, if we get, if we get a really big sponsor, like if, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, right, you know what I mean?
Her concern on the parks one anyways was that you may have somebody or a group or a person that is racist, or you could have what was the other one?
It could cause controversy. Is that what you're saying?
There we go, that's.
Okay.
My words.
The more you talk, the more I put together. I was like, it could cause controversy, and so
Absolutely.
to keep it so that it would be fair and equitable to everyone.
You're so good with words.
Yes.
Sorry,
that's
I try
exactly-
really
that's
hard.
Really what I'm
Great.
looking at.
That's just perfect. The city attorney would like your
Which
work.
I know people have already started. I mean, there have been so many donations previously
Exactly.
that you don't want to discount those that have already given, and you don't want to say. So I don't know how we do that other than just say, we're trying to raise this money. A per square foot would be X amount, but I don't know that we can name them.
And then if we do
I don't
things
know
like
the
naming.
answer to that.
Oh, sorry.
I think they do need to know how much we've already raised.
Right.
Right,
Because there's been a lot given already.
there has.
So I mean, I get both sides of this, and I understand we're trying to all get to that end goal. But knowing that the amount that we have left is attainable by square footage of, $72 a square foot or $100 a square foot, and knowing that that would be attainable to my family or my friends or my, coworkers or whatever. But I don't want to also discount those that have already given. And I would
That's a
hate
good
for somebody
question.
to come in and say,
Establishing levels of sponsorship. So we're talking about the old published level that was
Right.
1,000, 5,000, 10,000.
Right. And that was already published previous to this group.
Well, and honestly, I mean, I don't know that matters a lot. I mean, if I'm getting money and I'm gonna be a bronze
Right.
sponsor versus a silver, who cares? I mean, I gave what I could give. My name's gonna be on the plaque with
Right.
other people, which I think we've discussed, having a permanent plaque made, permanently affixed to the wall with everybody that gave money, whether it was 3 years ago or 3 months from now.
Right.
And we could work out those
Specifics.
splits if we
Yeah.
have, not many people down here and a whole bunch here. We could kind of
Yeah.
work it out so that
Everybody
everybody's
gets
recognized.
recognized, yes.
And
Well, and I think even the contractors that are willing to do their work at cost to us, that aren't asking us to pay their services, they need to be recognized as well. The plumber that's going,
special category
yes,
for, donated services.
services, exactly.
Something like that. But I still don't know. We have to establish whether we call that a bronze, a silver,
Yeah.
or gold
No,
today.
no.
I think there's a lot of people ready to just sign up and say, I'll give you $30 a month.
Yes.
And just start hitting my account.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. If we get 100 people around here, say, here, take $50 a month, it'll add up real quick.
Yeah.
And we're not sitting around waiting on grant money.
Yes.
We'll just constantly have some funds coming in.
Yeah, and have it growing.
So I think if we can get friends somehow to get that drive going and figure out how we can, somebody better than me with social media, that we can start passing it around on Facebook so
Right.
everybody sees it.
Gets shared.
There's easy links, and then we have fair warning to Payne County that,
Exactly.
hey, it's about to go and we hope you're gonna get flooded, so,
Yeah.
we can print a bunch of forms and have stuff help them.
Right.
If we need to handle the
Sign up
sign
or
up
whatever.
process.
I know they need to handle a lot of it because of confidentiality. But,
It could even be there's a form that we could link,
yeah,
that somebody can print at home, fill it out by hand,
And then drop
we'll
it
just
off.
go down there and hand it, and they don't have to stand in line or,
yeah, and I'll ask about that because that is something that could be helpful too. If they would have a form that could be linked to it. That would be helpful. So, I mean, I get the not wanting to be controversial, but I also think all the people who want to donate need to donate.
the discussion.
I'm sorry, on the city attorney side, she does not have an issue with sponsorship. She just wants, I think, in my
Make sure we're
experience with
protected.
parks, is make sure that we have a sponsorship policy in place for the legal concerns before we do that. But that's something that can be done.
Gotcha. So maybe we need to look at that.
In the parks,
Yeah,
in the
I was
library.
gonna say, maybe we need to look at that sponsorship letter from the attorney and be able to formulate a specific policy.
But are we really talking about sponsorship here? We're talking about donations.
Donations.
Yeah, and you wouldn't write the policy. I mean,
Well, but Friends is not a part of the city, so Friends,
oh.
it would be going through them because they are and then they in turn donate to the building, which they've already done phenomenal with. But there's gotta be some kind of a partnership there.
We're not talking about hanging a banner up that says Smith Construction on the side of the building. So it's more of, the money goes to Friends, and Friends then puts it in our fund when we need it. So it's not the same sponsorship kind of thing as
Yeah, that's not the same.
the parks are probably gonna have banners out in the outfield and stuff like that, I'm guessing.
I understand that. Okay, gotcha.
But it does get weird if some questionable group donates enough that we gotta put their name on a plaque. So,
You said we didn't get the community cares grants.
No, we did not. But
Well, we can
We'll
talk.
get there in a minute.
Yes.
Last thing on this item then, it kind of goes with it. We've talked about naming rights. That's where it comes to the trust. When somebody gives X amount of money, is that enough to name a portion of the library after that individual or family? So,
That's where it gets tricky too.
and we have one named room, and I've got another individual wanting to name theirs, so that's gonna be on the agenda next go around. And then we can decide if we all approve that,
Yeah.
then we can work out naming rights on the rest of
On the
it.
rest of those rooms, I think so too. But I think it comes down to, I know, it is exciting. So I think we need to pull out those plans and really look at square footage and go from there to help with some of that. All right, sounds good. All right.
I think Jennifer and her crew are gonna look at sections of the library. I mean, if there's a science section, whatever. I mean, then we can hang signs in sections of the library, because a lot of it's just huge open space. It's hard to
Right.
name, but, so we may have to do some creative naming, and I think there's a lot of people that are gonna give a big fat check and just say,
You use it however you need to.
just use it, I don't need my name anywhere. So
Yeah.
I think some of those we don't have to go too far out of our way. We handle them when they come.
Yeah,
So I think we just focus on raising some money and
exactly.
getting this done.
See, it does get hairy in the stacks if we're trying to do it per section, because we do tend to change it around as the collection moves.
Well, I still need a layout, your stack layout, because if we're gonna get the architect to totally finish stuff up here, we'll do a furnishing plan that shows exact, stack arrangement, tables, chairs, everything. So we kind of get a layout, and you can see how you're gonna arrange the space, how much furniture you have now, how much more we need, and then that could be another fundraiser just for furnishings, or a grant just for furnishings, but it kind of helps us lay out, confirm our layout before we build walls and step back and say, well, crap, we should have done, and then it'll be too late, so.
You needed this many shelves versus this many shelves, or, yeah.
And even the small rooms, the
Yeah.
children's reading room and that stuff, if we get a specific furnishings layout, then it might make sense on paper then to fudge the space based on furnishings and use. And so I'm hoping, I've been looking at the same plan for a couple of years, so I'm hoping if we can, get details worked out on that, then we can make a final adjustment that everybody's happy with and really work. So.
Sounds good. All right, number 8, consideration and discussion regarding fundraising ideas. I don't have any fundraising ideas as of yet. Again, I feel like Friends needs to help us with that endeavor. Of course, like we said, we've got some ideas as far as donations and sending out letters and things like that.
I think Friends does really good on the fundraising side. I think we can focus more on the
Building side,
grant opportunities.
grant opportunities, yeah. Anything else on number 8, Charlotte?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Number 9, consideration and discussion regarding grant opportunities. All right, the Oklahoma Community Cares Grant, we did not receive. When I looked at their website, all of their awards were $1,500 or less, and ours was for over $5,000, so I'm sure that was maybe a factor there. I did see that CREC has one open. It's due July 15th. And I think we take potentially that Oklahoma Community Cares Grant and send it to CREC, and maybe add the disposal of the concrete on that, and go ahead and write that and get that submitted.
How much do they usually?
The door, the security door and the mortar work and all that was $5,525, I believe. But the concrete work, I think, would be around, what, $2,000-3,000?
Yeah, at least. But you said CRC will go up.
Yeah,
to 10.
CRC won't go up to $10,000 for a group.
Someone asked me the other day if we'd talk to them?
No, and we have not applied to them, which I know the city is not a part of CREC, but a lot of our patrons are, and they have been very good. They did 3 different ones at my library at the elementary before I retired, so I have had experience with them. So I feel like that's a good place to reach out to. And since we know that that is kind of left open, since we didn't receive that grant, we petitioned that grant then for the CREC, but it's due July 15th. That's something that we can kind of work on and then get approved at the next meeting, so that will be need to be on the next meeting's agenda
Is
for
that-
us
is
to
that
approve
Publish
submission
the
for it.
application on their site.
Yeah, they have the application on their site. It's just a quick write-up. It's not long. It's very similar to the way Oklahoma Community Cares was. And I already have that one written. We just need to add the concrete demolition and removal pieces, but I don't think it would take much.
Jennifer, the Lowe's and Kubota, when do we hear?
I haven't gotten anything.
Do you remember? I mean, we kind of always rush around to get it submitted, and then I always forget.
Well, and I think it's June 15th is the initial, but then they will submit again for the 6 for that like August 1st one.
Yes.
But I want to say it's June 15th or July 1st, but I can't remember.
I
That
feel
was
like it's not
Kubota,
time yet, yeah.
but Lowe's we applied for before Kubota.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, those are both.
Did we get,
Yeah.
did we get the thing into Kubota?
We'll have to wait and see. They have not, either one that I know of have sent us anything.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the Kubota was out into June, July,
Yeah.
and then they put it back
Yeah.
August.
August
for the-
1st or something. Yeah.
For the second round. And we still have Sarkeys too.
Yes, so were you able to talk to your contact?
I will.
Okay.
And
Well, Jennifer tried to contact them again, and had no luck. I mean, like, emailed, nothing, called, nothing. So, I mean, we assume,
Several messages.
we're assuming what she sent in February was the letter of inquiry. Do we know that for certain? No. But it was all due June 1st, so, and that's today. So, I'm assuming that's what that was. Fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll find out something as we move forward there. But she tried to call. I was in last Tuesday, I think.
Ish. It was after we talked, whenever that was. It's a blur.
So, kind of on a wait on that Sarkeys because we're not sure where we're at on it.
And even then, it'll be through friends
Yeah.
for that. And I did just check like my spam folder and everything. There's nothing from Lowe's or Kubota. I'd hit
Okay.
both.
I didn't see any other grant opportunities for this month, but I did see that one for CRAC for July, so that's why.
Well, I'll get a few additional prices, then maybe in the next week or two, we can do our Saturday morning sit down and
Gotcha.
knock that one out.
Sounds good.
I'll buy the coffee and let you type.
That works. But I haven't seen any other grant opportunities. Jennifer, have you seen any come through, like ALA or any of the library associations with grant opportunities out?
I haven't, but I haven't like gone searching for them since summer reading's gone sideways.
there's our, not for very much.
Yeah.
About the most is ever
I would say,
5,000.
yeah, there's little tiny ones for like 100 or.
Programming
up to
type
3.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
little things.
Not like renovation type stuff.
No. And
Okay.
even then, we don't qualify for a lot because some of it's based on like minority populations and things like that, so it's.
Right. Right. Okay,
Well,
sounds
I
good.
watched one of their programs on,
Did you?
yeah,
Very
and
good.
they were quite
It
small.
is not helpful.
Yeah.
Well, I know T-Mobile guy Scott said to apply, but I think we need to wait 1 quarter and then apply again for theirs. I don't think we need to apply quarter back to back. I mean, they have one that's
I think
due.
it'd be good if we could spend the first.
money.
Right.
Exactly, and could show them what we've already done. But T-Mobile did say, he told me that day, he said, apply again, this is what we like to help with. So I feel like if we hold out a quarter with them and then apply again for them, we might have a better shot.
Well, and we probably do need to put some notes together that you can take to friends for current fundraising that, or pledges we have, because we have the other 50 local.
Yes, that have pledged.
Yeah. So we've got right now 70 plus 20.
20
So we've got 90.
pledged. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we know that. And
So we've got a firm pledge for 50.
I've got another one for 20 we can discuss next meeting.
That's the library one, the children one.
And I think every month that passes, yours goes up, Charlotte. We're probably up to 30 by now, aren't we?
We're at 25.
See?
You can add 5 more.
Take it.
All right,
That's a big
anything
deal.
else about grant opportunities? All right, number 10, new business. Any new business today? All right, number 11, adjourn.
We never do there because we're always afraid.
I know. We're told
Somebody's
not
gonna
to.
get.
Is there, you just can't put too much stuff in this letter, but is that enough money to try to get people to match it?
Potentially.
I think the Friends have been raising money longer than I've been around. I think they could probably figure out how to spend it, you know, but I think if everybody goes into it knowing we have that much pledged and ready to go.
That we're getting closer, we just have to get off and get it done. Yep. All right, number 11. Someone make a motion to it.
And the 50 from T-Mobile that's in the bank.
Yeah, it's already there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you had that.
Yeah, it's added. I put it down.
You got 145. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I will move that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Yep.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Charlotte? Okay, Brian?
Yep.
And Linda?
Yes.
All right.
Adjourn at 6:35. All right.
And then I've got last month's minutes for you to sign.
Oh, yes. Sounds
And
good.
then